Your cat isn't asking for more toys, more treats, or expensive furniture. What they actually need is something much smaller, and most owners have been missing it every single day. Not because they don't care, because nobody ever explained what the signal looks like. These aren't expensive things. They're small things your cat has been asking for through body language, through posture, through the tiny moments you walk past every day without noticing. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to answer them. Stay for number 14 is the one that hits hardest, and it's the one most people tell us they had no idea they were missing. Number 1. Give your cat a calm look instead of a stare down. Your cat isn't asking you to stop looking at them. They're asking you to make your eyes feel safe. You know the moment your cat jumps on the counter, knocks something off a shelf, scratches at the couch. You catch them, and without thinking, you lock eyes and hold a long, firm stare. You think you're communicating disappointment. Your cat is having a completely different experience. In feline social language, a sustained direct stare isn't correction, it's a threat display. The same signal a predator uses before it strikes. That freeze you sometimes see, the cat going still and low with wide eyes, isn't guilt. That's a survival response. That's your cat calculating whether they can get away. Studies on feline stress suggest cats who face frequent confrontational eye contact from their owners, even unintentional, show higher baseline anxiety and are less likely to approach them voluntarily in calm moments. They're not scared of you exactly. They're just never fully sure which version of you they're going to get. The fix isn't complicated. Redirect instead of stare. Use your voice to interrupt the behaviour, not your eyes to challenge the animal. Move calmly. Guide them if you need to, but skip the lock-on stare. Every one of those moments is a small withdrawal from the trust account you're trying to build. And the relaxed cat you want, the one who chooses to be near you, can't fully exist if part of them is always checking whether your eyes are safe. Even something as ordinary as catching them mid-scratch on the doorframe and freezing them with a hard look adds up over weeks, and most owners never connect that pattern to why their cat hesitates before walking into the room they're sitting in. Number 2. When they come to check on you, let them finish. This one sounds small. It isn't. Your cat walks over while you're sitting quietly, sniffs your hand, rubs their cheek briefly against your knee, and almost every owner, in that moment, immediately starts petting them. It feels like connection. But from your cat's side, you just interrupted a sentence they were in the middle of. Cats read the people they're bonded to through scent and proximity in a way that's far more detailed than most owners realise. Your body chemistry tells them things your face never could. Whether you're stressed, whether something's changed since you last saw each other. That check-in is deliberate. It's your cat doing something genuinely important to them. When you convert it into a petting session right away, you shift the moment from their need to yours. Try this instead the next time your cat initiates a quiet check-in. Keep your hand still. Let them finish sniffing, let them finish rubbing. Let them read whatever they came to read. Only then, respond. A cat who's allowed to finish their sentences eventually starts saying more of them. More clearly, more often, and more directly to you. This is one of the easiest habits to change, because it costs you nothing but a few extra seconds of patience, and it's one of the ones owners notice the fastest results from. Number 3. Let them finish investigating. How many times has your cat approached something new, a shopping bag, a piece of your clothing, a corner of the house that shifted and you immediately picked them up, or scolded them away from it? Every one of those moments cost your cat something real. Cats have a vastly stronger sense of smell than humans, along with a specialised scent processing organ we don't have, which reads an entire extra layer of chemical information about the world around them. When your cat pauses to investigate something, they're not being nosy, they're reading. Where it's been, who touched it, whether it belongs in their territory. Cutting that off mid-read is like closing a book 2 pages before the ending. Studies on feline enrichment suggest cats who get more opportunities for scent investigation show lower stress behaviours overall. Sniffing isn't just something cats enjoy, it's one of the ways they regulate their internal state, and most owners cut it short dozens of times a week without realizing. Slow down. When your cat approaches something with interest, let them finish. 3 minutes of sniffing a bag might feel pointless to you. To your cat, it's a conversation they've finally been allowed to complete. Number 4. Let them say no. This is the one. Your cat has a real vocabulary, not words, but body language that's documented, consistent and meaningful. And within that vocabulary, they have a clear way of saying, "Not right now, I don't want this, please stop." The head turning away from your hand, the unexpected lip lick, the slight lean back when you reach for them, the tail flicking sharply, the ears rotating sideways during petting, the soft warning hiss. These aren't random, they're sentences, and most owners don't just miss them, they override them. The child who wants to hug the cat while the cat's whole body is saying no, and the parent who says go ahead, they love it. The grooming session pushed through despite every signal of discomfort, because it needs to get done. The stranger who reaches in while the owner apologizes for the cat, instead of stepping in for them. Every time this happens, your cat learns something specific, that their communication doesn't work, that the signals they send don't produce results. A cat who's learnt their signals don't work stops sending them clearly. That isn't a cat who stopped communicating. That's a cat who gave up on being heard, and it's one of the most common paths to sudden reactivity, to the bite the owner insists came out of nowhere. There were 20 signals before that moment. They just weren't seen. It's also worth saying, this isn't about being a bad owner. Most people were never taught to notice a lip lick or an ear rotation as meaningful. You're not failing your cat by not knowing this yet. You're failing them if you keep ignoring it once you do. This is what your cat has been waiting for their whole life. Not for you to be perfect, but for you to listen when they speak, and to actually honour it when they do. Number 5. Get down to their level. When did you last sit on the floor with your cat? Not to clean up or grab something. Just to be at their level with no agenda? From your cat's perspective, you're enormous, a towering, fast-moving figure who controls food, doors and attention. Studies on feline behaviour suggest cats approach people in seated or crouched positions faster and more relaxed than they approach someone standing, even someone they've known their whole life. Every time you stand over them, even with the best intentions, part of your cat's nervous system is quietly calculating whether the moment is safe. Try this today. Go into whatever room your cat is resting in, sit on the floor a few feet away, and do nothing. Don't call them, don't pat the ground, don't hold out a hand. Just exist in their space at their height. Most cats look at you differently almost immediately. Some drift over slowly, some simply relax deeper, because for once, they don't need to monitor you. Being at their level, even for a few minutes a day, says something no amount of standing affection can. I don't need you to come up to my world. I'm willing to come down to yours. Number 6. Talk to them like they understand you. Talk to your cat out loud, for real, not commands, but the way you'd talk to someone you share your life with. Most people admit they already do this when no one's watching, and then feel a little embarrassed about it. They shouldn't. Studies on feline vocalization suggest cats process the tone and rhythm of your voice, and can distinguish speech directed at them from speech directed at someone else, even when the words are identical. Your cat has been listening this whole time. The question is whether you've been speaking. Say good morning when you get up. Narrate what you're doing while you make dinner. Ask them a soft question when they walk into the room. Tell them about your day. Cats don't process specific words the way we do, but they read tone, rhythm, and emotional presence with real sensitivity. Over weeks and months, this shifts the baseline of your relationship. Your cat starts to feel included in your inner life, instead of adjacent to it. And that's a form of care no toy or treat can replace. Owners who do this consistently often notice their cat starts responding to their voice differently, coming to check when they're called softly, or settling faster when they hear a familiar tone after a stressful moment. Number 7. Stop interrupting their rest. Your cat is curled up asleep, completely at peace, and because they look so cute, you cross the room and reach for them. It feels harmless. It feels loving. What your cat's nervous system registers is that safety is negotiable. Cats sleep 12 to 16 hours a day, and that sleep isn't casual. They need this long rest to recover, process their experiences, and keep their bodies functioning properly. The spot they chose to sleep in is one their nervous system already calculated as safe. When you interrupt that rest, even gently, you're teaching them that safe places aren't actually safe, that your presence can enter any part of their day without warning. The fix is simple, and it's one of the most respectful things you can do. When your cat is sleeping, let them sleep. Admire them from where you are. Take the picture if you want, but don't cross the room, don't scoop them up, don't wake them just because you miss them. If they wake on their own and come to you, that's an invitation, take it. If they don't, honour the space they chose. A cat who knows their rest is inviolable is a cat whose whole nervous system relaxes into your home in a way most cats never get to experience. Number 8. Give them high ground of their own. Look around your home right now. How much of it actually belongs to your cat, not the floor you share with your feet, not the couch you share with your body, but space that's genuinely theirs, where they can be above everything and rest without being disturbed? For most cats, the honest answer is almost none. Cats regulate through elevation as much as through connection. Height means safety, visibility, the ability to survey the territory and confirm nothing's wrong. Studies on feline welfare in home environments consistently link access to vertical space with lower stress behaviour. Elevated resting spots aren't decoration, they're part of how a cat's nervous system settles. And most homes accidentally block this without meaning to. The cat tree gets pushed into a corner, the bookshelf fills up with objects, the windowsill gets blocked by a plant. Take a moment tonight and look at your home from your cat's perspective. Where can they go up? How many high resting spots can they actually reach on their own? Clear a shelf, add a window perch, mount a couple of wall steps if your space allows it. Give them vertical territory that's unambiguously theirs, not a spot they have to negotiate for with a stack of books or a pile of laundry. When their nervous system needs to go up, let it go up and watch how much of their behaviour settles into a version of them you may never have seen before. Number 9. Complete the hunt cycle with them. Have you ever noticed your cat exploding into a sudden frenzy for no obvious reason? Ambushing your feet from behind furniture, attacking a completely still toy with unexplained fury? That's not weird, that's a hunter with unfinished business. Cats are wired for a specific sequence. Stalk, chase, pounce, catch, consume. It isn't a preference, it's closer to a need. When a cat can't complete that sequence, the drive doesn't disappear, it builds, and it tends to come out sideways as frenzy, or those classic 3 a.m. sprints. Here's the mistake most owners make. They think leaving toys on the floor counts as play. It doesn't. A stationary toy isn't prey. It doesn't engage the hunt cycle. Even a laser pointer that never lets your cat actually catch anything can build frustration by triggering the hunt without ever delivering the catch. What your cat has actually been waiting for is you holding a wand toy, moving it like prey, letting them stalk it, letting them pounce, letting them win, and ending the session with a small treat so the hunt and consume sequence properly completes. Studies on feline enrichment link daily interactive play with lower stress markers, less destructive behaviour, and stronger bonds with owners. 2 10-minute sessions a day changes a lot. When you become the source of the hunt, you become the centre of your cat's world, not just the person who fills the bowl, but the person who lets them be the hunter they were built to be. Timing matters too. A session before a meal, rather than right after, tends to line up better with their natural hunt, then eat rhythm. Number 10. Respect their scent map. Every surface your cat has rubbed their cheek against, every spot they've curled up in, they've marked with facial pheromones, territorial signposts. that say this is mine, this is safe, this is known. And most owners are quietly erasing them without realising it, wiping down counters, vacuuming the couch, spraying air freshener, washing bedding right before heading out for hours. Each one removes a piece of the invisible map your cat is built across your home. Studies on feline environmental enrichment suggest cats in scent-stable environments show fewer stress behaviours than cats whose scent maps are constantly disrupted, which is part of why synthetic facial pheromone products exist in the first place, to rebuild what harsh cleaning takes away. The fix isn't living in filth, it's timing and awareness. If you need to deep clean, give your cat time to settle back into the environment before you leave, rather than heading straight out the door. Skip strong scents like ammonia or citrus, which cats generally find unpleasant, and avoid washing their bedding on the same day as a long absence. When your cat rubs their cheek against the same corner for the 50th time, they're not being strange, they're updating their map, confirming this is still their territory. Preserving those markers is one of the quietest, most respectful things you can do for them. Number 11. Give them a reason to drink. You put out a bowl of water. Your cat walks past it a dozen times a day and barely touches it. Cats naturally have a low thirst drive, so some cats, especially those mostly on dry food, may not drink as much as they should. It's not that every cat is in crisis, it's that the standard bowl often works against their instincts. Cats generally prefer moving water over still water, a water source kept away from their food, wide shallow bowls that don't press against their whiskers, and more than one water location around the house. The fix is small and it works. Try a cat water fountain. Add a few extra bowls in different rooms, away from food. Switch to wide ceramic dishes instead of narrow plastic ones. Change the water more often than you think you need to. Some cats even prefer a slightly dripping tap or a glass left on the counter. Watch what happens over the next week. Your cat may have been longing for water they can actually enjoy drinking, and once you give them that, hydration tends to improve on its own. Number 12. Read their tail before you read their face. The tail is one of the most expressive parts of a cat's body, and it's broadcasting real-time information constantly. Most owners just never learn to read it, often because they apply dog logic to it by mistake. A tail held high with a curl at the tip is a happy, confident greeting. A tail wrapped around the body while sitting is relaxed and content, not seeking interaction. A tail that flicks or twitches at the tip while the rest of the body stays still is focus, or mild irritation. If you see that during petting, stop, because it's a warning. A tail lashing widely and forcefully is high agitation, one of the most commonly misread signals in the whole vocabulary, often mistaken for excitement. A tail puffed and held stiffly upright is fear, your cat trying to look bigger, preparing to flee or defend. A tail tucked tightly against the body is fear, submission, or real anxiety. Learn this, and you'll stop being surprised by what your cat does next, because the answer is usually right there behind them before their face ever shows it. Start paying attention during your next petting session specifically. That's usually where the tail says something the rest of the room misses. Number 13. Leave yourself behind when you leave. When you leave the house, what does your cat actually have of you? Silence, an empty room, the fading warmth of where you were sitting. Cats navigate their emotional environment largely through scent, and your smell isn't just pleasant to them, it's information. It tells their nervous system that you exist, that you were here, that you're still part of the territory even while you're gone. Studies on feline separation stress link access to a familiar owner's scent during alone time, with lower stress indicators, less pacing, less yowling, more time spent actually resting. Here's the fix, and it takes 10 seconds. Before you leave the house, place a recently worn, unwashed piece of your clothing in your cat's favourite resting spot, something you slept in or wore yesterday. Fresh laundry won't do it. It carries almost none of the chemical information your cat is looking for. You're leaving a version of yourself behind, something that tells their nervous system, my person exists, my person was here, I'm not alone. For sensitive cats, rescue cats, or cats with any history of instability, this small gesture can matter more than almost anything else you do. It's such a small habit that it's easy to forget. But pairing it with something you already do on your way out, grabbing your keys, putting on your shoes, makes it stick. Number 14. Simply sit quietly in their space. I want you to try something the next time you're home with your cat. Not right after feeding them, not during play, not when they're already asking for attention, just a random quiet moment in the day. Get up from the couch, set your phone down, and sit on the floor in the room where your cat is resting. No calling them over, no holding out a treat, no reaching for them, no pretending to have something interesting in your hand. Just sit there. This sounds almost too simple to matter, but what happens next, if you give it enough time, will tell you more about your relationship with your cat than almost anything else. Think about what your cat experiences every day. You're enormous. You move fast. You control everything in the environment. When you enter a room, something usually changes. Because of you, food gets served, doors open, something is asked of them. They rarely get to experience you as a presence that simply exists in the same space with no agenda attached. When you sit on the floor and wait, something quiet shifts in the room. Your cat notices. Maybe they glance over. Maybe they stand up and study you differently. And then, if you stay still, you'll see it, they drift toward you. Not running, not demanding. Just quietly moving into your space. They might sit a foot away. They might rub their cheek against your knee. They might lie down facing you. That choice to come to you without being called, without food, without any reward, is one of the most honest things a cat can do. It means they want to be near you not for what you're offering, but for who you are to them. Research on feline attachment suggests cats who experience regular, low-pressure, non-demanding proximity with their humans show stronger attachment patterns and lower baseline anxiety, not from training, not from enrichment, just from the willingness to come down to their world and share space, asking for nothing in return. That's what you're building when you sit on the floor. Not a moment. A foundation. A silent conversation between two beings who trust each other. And it costs you nothing, no toy, no treat, no purchase, just a few minutes of being still. Your cat isn't asking for perfection. They're not asking for grand gestures or endless patience or a flawlessly structured routine. They're asking for something far simpler than that, to be heard, to be respected, to be included, to feel safe with the one person their entire world is built around. They've been asking their whole life. Now you know how to answer. Which of these 14 will you change first? Tell me in the comments, I read every one. And if you want to understand your cat better, subscribe. Every video starts with the question your cat has been waiting for you to ask.